Then one day came, the rumors were true, there was a big selection. Apparently they had the train, the railroad was fixed and everything, and they had enough trains to bring lots of young women again, one Jewish woman again to the camp. So they decided to have a selection again. I won't say it's a big selection now because I don't know that. At the beginning it was just a selection like other ones we thought. But there was a lot of us, more than it usually was, so I knew they're going to probably take a lot more people. And before that selection, one of the assessment picked up for fun or whatever, he thought it was one of the lids from the heavy kettles from the tea and threw it against the brick wall, and it bounced off and hit my sister on the forehead, and she was bleeding terribly. And this was like a week maybe before, and I sold my portion of bread. Organizing meant if you wanted to get something, the only one portion we would split, and for the other portion I would buy. So I went to the block elder and I said, could you give me something some Seth to disinfect it? I stopped the bleeding with a piece of rag that I had, and a dirty one, and I said, hey, can you get me something? Here is my portion of bread, and she got me something in a little piece of gauze. But by the time the selection came, this scar, it was healed, but it was still red, and she was very pale, and she was frightened, and she was scared. And then by accident, I found, I don't know if you're familiar with, this was years ago, that people were using chicory with the coffee to mix, and the chicory was wrapped in Europe. Anyway, it was wrapped in red, shiny paper. Part of it was red. And I found a piece of paper, and I thought, hey, I don't know how I got those ideas, but this can be, she looks so pale, my sister. When the selection comes, I'm going to spit on that paper, I'm going to make her cheeks a little bit rosy, and then I'm going to take some dirt, I'm going to smear on that scar. It wasn't open anymore. A little bit, but I thought I'd take a chance at it. Some dirt, and so they think she's dirty, and the rosy cheeks will make her look nice. And we stood from 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's already late evening and night, and you had to go buy them. But after the ones for life that already decided that we are to keep us alive for a while, or whatever it's going to be, they didn't know we're going to stay a little bit longer alive. But in any way, they had us, after we passed them, the assessment, we had to show the number, and so they registered everything, and we passed by, but to jump over a ditch to the other side. And the ones who fell into the ditch, I haven't seen it often because I guess the fear of dying was so great that a lot of them made it over the ditch. And after I did, we were coming closer and closer. I didn't want to put the color on it too early because I thought maybe it's going to fade and it's going to wipe off. So I spit on that paper and I put a little bit rosy cheeks on it, smeared on the dirt. And then we were debating for quite a while, should she go first or should I go first? And I said to herself, you say I look better than you, so maybe I blind them and they're not going to see you. And so you were very close to me, I said, if you think I look better. She said, yes, you look better, she says. I said, no, no, you go first, because I can't stand the tension that you're going to back of me. I'm just going to die until I know you are on my side, you jumped over that ditch. So we went about 5 times changing back and forth, and finally after we changed, and there are about 5, 6 in front of us, suddenly a girl in back of me says to me, yes, you're going to survive, she said to me. You look good, yes. And she pushes something in my hand, and I hope I'm not going to cry with this one. Let me take some water and I see. And she said to me, this is my mom's wedding band. Please, they're going to take me, I know. Because look at me, I look so bad. She said, that's my mom's wedding. Promise me you're never going to let them have it. Just keep it, never going to let them have it. I said, I promise. I never saw the girl before. She was just standing, one of us, there standing in line. And she pushed it in my hand, and I kept holding it in my hand. And she went, and she was selected to die. And after I looked back, I could see her. She was in back of me. But first I went with my sister back and forth and back and forth. And then we decided, no, I go first. You were right. They're going to get blinded because I look better. You say so, I look better. Do I? She says, yes, you do. So I went first, and I passed by, and I jumped. And there was one of the buildings was already there. And I went up to that building, and I stood like this against the building. And I didn't dare looking back. I could have, but I didn't dare. And I was just praying and standing there, and suddenly I felt two hands going on my waistline and holding me. And it was my sister. She jumped over and survived it. And that day was, I don't know exactly, but people are saying thousands of us were in camp. But 500 only survived, and the two of us were two of the 500. So a lot of horrible things happened, and a lot of miracles happened. I don't know why, and I don't know why I deserved it. I don't want to be presumptuous in thinking that I deserved it for something, but we survived that selection, and among the 500, that was very, very special.